What is going on, Defender here, back with another Honkai Star Rail guide, and today I'm here with the full build guide for the standard character Gepard. So in this video I'm going to be running you over his kit, including his Eidolons, then I'll be taking over his best light code options, followed by that will be his best relics and ornament options, followed by that will be stat recommendations for the main stats and the substats, including some thresholds you want to hit. If you're watching this in the future, this is a post 2.7 updated guide, so I'm recording this when 2.7 did happen, which most likely will mean this will be updated for 2025 and going forward, so definitely keep that in mind. Before I get into the video, if you guys find this video helpful in any way, shape, or form, dropping a like would be greatly appreciated. Be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon for future videos like this, along with all other types of Star Rail content. If you know anyone that may need a Gepard guide, please send them this video as it may help them, and let's get straight into the guide. So Gepard is a ice character following the path of preservation. His basic attack deals ice damage equal to 100% of Gepard's attack to a single enemy. His skill deals ice damage equal to 200% of Gepard's attack to a single enemy, with a 65% base chance to freeze the enemy for one turn. While frozen, the enemy cannot take action and will take additional ice damage equal to 60% of Gepard's attack at the beginning of each turn. His ultimate applies a shield to all allies, absorbing damage equal to 45% of Gepard's attack plus 600 for 3 turns. For his talent, when struck with a killing blow, instead of becoming knocked down, Gepard's HP immediately restores to 50% of his max HP and can only trigger once per battle. For his technique, after Gepard uses his technique, when the next battle begins, a shield will be applied to all allies, absorbing damage equal to 24% of Gepard's defense plus 150 for 2 turns. For his bonus traces, his A2, Gepard has a higher chance to be attacked by enemies. His A4, when Unyielding Will is triggered, Gepard's energy will be restored to 100%. And his A6, Gepard's attack will be increased by 35% of his current defense and will refresh at the start of his each turn. Taking a look at his Eidolons, his E1, when using his skill, increases the base chance to freeze the attacked enemy by 35%. His E2, after an enemy frozen by the skill is unfrozen, their speed is reduced by 20% for one turn. His E4, when Gepard is in the battle, all allies' effect res increases by 20%. And his E6, when his talent is triggered, Gepard immediately takes action and restores extra HP equal to 50% of his max HP. Taking a look at the best light code options for Gepard, his best one is going to be his own one that you can also get from the standard banner, as it gives him a 24% increase to defense and effect hit rate increased by 24% as well, and will also increase the chance for the wearer to be attacked by enemies, and when the wearer is attacked, increases their defense by an extra 24% until the end of the wearer's turn. So this gives you a big increase to defense, practically the best one you can get from a light cone in the game just at base, because once the wearer is hit and Gepard has a bonus trace that lets him get hit more, plus this light cone which will increase his taunt even further. So it is really easy to practically always have this up, and when you do get hit, you have a 48% defense increase, which is really good. On top of that, Gepard can make use of the effect hit rate since his actual skill has the base chance to freeze, and on top of that, one of his best planet ornament options do have a effect hit rate requirement. Another fantastic option is Lando's Choice, which it does make the wearer more likely to be attacked and also reduces the damage taken by 16% at S1, and at S5 it is a 24% damage reduction. So once again, gives you even more taunt, so he's the one that's going to be getting hit. On top of that, less damage to his shield that will be taken, having his shield be more tanky, and doing his job as a sustain better, making this a really nice option as well. Only downside is it doesn't provide you defense stats or anything else that might affect you, so something like effect hit rate as I mentioned with his signature icon, but still overall a great option you can use. Day 1 of My New Life is another fantastic option you can use, as it gives you a 16% increase to defense, and after entering battle, increases all type res of all allies by 8%, and at S5 it gives you a 24% increase to defense and a 12% increase to all type res. So a nice little increase to defense, albeit not as high as some of the other options you can use, but it is still a good option you can use if you don't have any others. And the all type res can help while you're in battle, so the nice little 12% increase is also pretty beneficial, making this another fantastic option you can use overall. Another option you can use, which is a bit iffy but still workable, is the Textures of Memories light code, which is free from the Herta shop, and at S1 it gives you an 8% effect res increase. If the wearer is attacked and has no shield, they gain a shield equal to 16% of their max HP for 2 turns, can only be triggered once every 3 turns. If the wearer has a shield, the damage they received is reduced by 12%. If the wearer has a shield when they are attacked, the damage they receive decreases by 12%. So the 8% effect res is really nice, so he can actually get CC less overall. The refresh of shield part is kind of whatever, but if there are cases where you might run out of shield, this can help you provide a little bit more. The only issue is this is a max HP related one, and Gepard is a defense scaling / attack scaling for his damage, and HP is just kind of there, so this is not going to give you a great amount, but can still come in clutch at times. But since it also does give you the damage lower if you do have your shield active, which Gepard for the most part will, it's going to be good. And then when you do take it to S5, you get a 16% effect res increase. If you don't have the shield for the max HP, you get a 32% of their max HP for that shield, and when you are attacked, fact, if you do have a shield, you get a 24% 2 damage reduction. So overall, this is a great option. The second part is sort of wasted, but again, still can come in clutch at times, but as it does give you 16% effect res and also lowers damage by 24% if you do have an existing shield, which is the main part you will use, can make this a good option overall. And the last option I'm going to talk about overall is an extremely niche option, but that is Tread of the Universal Market, which gives you a 16% increase to defense, and when the wearer is attacked, there is a 100% base chance to burn the enemy. For each turn, the wearer deals dot that is equal to 40% of the wearer's defense for 2 turns. And at S5, you do get a 32% increase to defense, you have 120% base chance to burn the enemy, and the dot becomes 80% of the wearer's defense. The reason I say niche is this is mostly either used as a stat stick or a bit of a help in a dot team, so if he's your only option for a dot team, this can help with some additional dot damage. Since you do build him based off his defense and the dot scales off his defense, it can actually do some pretty solid damage, but the most times you will use this if you are using him on an Acheron team and you do not have Xiaochu on the team. Since if you have Xiaochu on the team, you're practically already getting the guaranteed stacks from the enemy's turn, as he does have it from his ultimate, and you can't stack them unfortunately, since it's considered one action. But if you don't have Xiaochu, then this is usually where you would use him specifically, because he has a higher chance to be attacked in his base kit, and then also has a nice increase to the stat stick with a defense increase by 32% here. And so this is a nice niche option, and once again, when it does come to anything else, if you don't have any of the ones mentioned, you still could use this for the just defense increase alone, since the best options become stat stick. Like, you could use this as me and have it if you have it at S5. Second part is useless, but again, if you just need a defense stat stick until you get a better option, then those are your options. But overall, that is the best Lycon options you have for him. Taking a look at the best relic options for Gepard, the best thing you can do is 4-piece of the Knights of Purity Palace, which the 2-piece gives you a 15% increase to defense, and the 4-piece increases the max damage that can be absorbed by shields created by the wearer by 20%. So the reason this is the best, as it does give you a defense increase by 15% from the 2-piece, which is practically the only set that does give you the defense increase. For an actual relic set, that's going to be really nice for getting more tanky and a better shield overall. And on top of that, the shields that Gepard will make to make his sustain roll even better will actually increase the max damage that you'll be able to take with the shields created, and that's why the 4-piece is going to be really good, as this practically is the best option you can do for a pure sustained Gepard, which is the main thing he will be doing, since that's his entire role. So the 15% increase to defense is going to help with the shield a lot, and also a bit of his damage, since he does have that bit of scaling. And then the 4-piece will actually make his shields that much more tankier, so overall this is the best option you can do. But if you can't do that, then it practically just becomes combining 2-piece of something and 2-piece of something as well. So overall, 2-piece of Knights of Purity Palace is still recommended. Even if you can't do 4-piece, the 2-piece of defense increase is very important. And then you can combine the 2-piece of that and do something like 2-piece of one of the speed sets. So doing 2-piece Hackerspace is good for the 6% speed it does provide, and that's also applying to the new Relieved Ordeal set, since they do have the same speed increase. This is assuming you're trying to get into breakpoint though, because if you don't get to the breakpoint that you do need, which will be 134, which is most recommended on Gepard, so if you're using something like defense feet or you're just not able to do it, then there's not really much point. But with a proper build, you definitely want to get him up to that, and the 2-piece of one of these speed sets can definitely help with that. Or you could do 2-piece of one of the 2 that I did mention, and also do 2-piece of the Guard of Wuthering Snow, as the 2-piece reduces damage taken by 8%, so a nice little damage reduction you can use there. And unfortunately, that's really all you can do when it comes to relic sets, so overall you definitely want to get a 4-piece of the Knight of the Purity Palace, if not that, 2-piece Knight and 2-piece of one of the speed sets, so Relieved Ordeal or Hackerspace. Or you could also do 2-piece Knight and 2-piece Guard, or 2-piece Guard with 2-piece of one of the 2 speed sets. When it comes to the planar ornaments, this one depends. So if you do want more defense on your Gepard, you can do Belobog, which gives you a 15% increase to defense, and if you have a 50% or higher effect hit rate stat, you get an additional 50% defense, giving you 30% defense. So this would be best if you want more defense on your Gepard. You just will need to hit that 50% effect hit rate, and if you really have to go out your way, so if you have to sacrifice a lot of speed and a lot of defense in your subsets, then it is not worth doing this. But if you happen to get lucky and your pieces already have some effect hit rate rolls, plus you might be using his signature Lycon, which gives effect hit rate as well, then this can become a really good option, as it does give you the most defense. So it's overall the best if you're able to hit it without losing a lot of stats on your subsets. So if you are able to hit it, say if you have the signature Lycon and just nice rolls on the actual current relics you have, then fantastic option you can use. Otherwise, you can just use one of the other ones that I will mention. When it comes to the other options, it's practically just the ones you want to use for support. And so something like Broken Keel is good, as it gives you a 10% effect res increase, and when you do have 30% or higher effect effect res, you give everyone 10% crit damage. So a nice little supportive set, which also does give you almost half the requirement on its own, and more effect res will be great on Gepard so you can get CC less. Overall, great option for both him and also for your team, as it does provide a 10% effect res increase. Same thing like Broken Kill. Another supportive one you can do is something like Fleet of the Aegis, which gives you 12% max HP, which isn't entirely useless, but unfortunately it'd be better for his defense, but still can help with survivability. And once you do have 120 speed or higher, you give everyone 8% attack. So if you are doing defense boots, it will be a little bit difficult to actually hit that 120, but if you're doing speed boots and try to get him up to breakpoint, then you really won't have to worry about that. But just for the rare people that will be using the defense boots, then it can become an issue. But a nice increase to attack by 8% for your team if you're able to hit it. And one of the new sets, you can also do Lushaka, as it gives you a 5% energy regeneration rate, which is going to be really nice for Gepard himself as well. And if the wearer is not the first character on the team lineup, then increases the attack of the first character in the team lineup by 12%. So you'd pair this with anyone that is an attack-based character, so someone like Acheron, Beishao, pretty much as anyone that can benefit from the actual attack percent. You just make sure he's positioned second, third, or fourth, and make sure the character you went above is the first character in the team lineup, and they can benefit from the second part of this set with the supportive part. And Gepard himself can benefit from the 5% energy regeneration rate, making this another great option you can do. And another more niche but usable set is the Penacony set, which also gives you a 5% energy regeneration rate increase and will increase damage by 10% for all other allies that are the same type as the wearer. So again, 5% energy regeneration rate is going to be nice to Gepard, but you will need to be running a main DPS or the main source of your damage and making sure they are ice. Otherwise, the second part will just not work. And in that case, you'd be better off just running something like Lushaka. But if you're running him with someone like Jinglu, or if you're even going to prepare him for the upcoming characters, the Herda, or just any ice DPS that you might be using, then the Penacony set is viable. Otherwise, you're better off running one of the other sets. When taking a look at the main sets you do want on your Gepard relics, for the body, the best option is going to be defense. For the feet, you want to have speed and you want to hit 134 speed. That is going to be best for Gepard, since you do want him to get enough turns to have uptime on the ultimate, since that's where his main source of shielding will come from and his only source. So speed and getting him up to 134 speed is the best option you can do, but if you just simply cannot do it, then you could just opt for running defense boots. It will make his shield more tanky in the beginning, but you'll actually be refreshing it less, which will make his job do even worse, which will make his performance for his shield perform even worse. So overall, it is definitely the worst option, but if you don't have any other option, you can't really do anything about it. So defense boots is possible, but definitely would recommend doing speed boots. For the orb, you want to have defense percent, and for the link rope, you want to have energy regeneration rate. For these subsets, again, with running speed boots, first you want to prioritize to get as much speed to get you up to 134 speed. 134 speed or higher, but 134 is just the baseline and the most recommended amount. That is going to be the best for your Gepard, so you're able to hit the breakpoint and being able to get more turns in that cycle, helping you gain more energy and having more uptime on your shield. Past that will just be more defense, so more defense will be really good since it'll be increasing the strength of your shield, and then anything past that will just be up the survivability stats, so you can get some HP, so he just has a little more numbers to survive, and equal to that would be effect res, so he can get CC less. So once again, speed until you do hit breakpoint is the number one most priority you do have, and if you already have that, or maybe you're doing defense boots instead, so just getting more defense in that case would be better, so your shield is more tanky. Followed by that would just be HP percent or effect res for more survivability overall. And yep, that is the full Gepard build guide updated 2.7 and above. If you guys found this video once again helpful in any way, shape, or form, dropping a like would be greatly appreciated. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon for future videos like this, along with all other types of Star Rail content. Once again, hope you guys found this video helpful, and peace out.